Welcome to another Creaky Gamers Battle Report. Let's hope they know what they're doing. It's Warhammer the Old World. Creaky Gamers a go.
Let's inspect the forces and get on with it.
So the cannons are back. We've got three crew each, yeah?
Yeah.
And then the scouts are going into the woods over there.
Yeah.
2 gyrocopters.
Hammers with the Rune Lord.
Hammers and the Rune Lord. Longbeards with the Standard and the King.
Yeah.
And the Vampires. A big bus of Black Knights with the banner of the Barrows and the banner of Hellish Vigor on the white. Von Keith has got a great weapon. The dazzling helm and talisman of protection. 2 newly painted Vargulfs out there. Some ghouls, Necromancer with the Cloak of Mist and Shadows, level 4, and Sceptre du Noir, whatever it is, so we can do raise twice. Yep. Banshee, Vargeist, ghouls, and Spirit Hosts.
Dwarfs, turn 1.
Is it?
Put it up on this.
Let's go. Turn 1.
Okay, welcome back. It's the Dwarves again, and the King's unit. So if I'm smart as the vampire player, I will avoid that King's unit. I've had many tussles with the King on his shield bearers, in the hammerers, or the Longbeards, or whatever, and he seems to be pretty tough. And he's been smart this time with the scouts. He's deployed them in the woods there. He's thinking about shooting at the knights, but he decides to shoot at one of my newly painted Vargulfs. And no sooner did I paint up these Vargulfs, and the FAQ changed it so they don't get close order anymore. So they're not as good as they used to be, and these are brand newly painted, so we'll see how they go. And after that shooting and regen, etc., only 1 wound. So that's pretty much it. And then we've got a cannon shot. So 1 cannon decides to go at the knights. So 1 cannonball through. I think he goes through about 3 knights or something. Fails to wound. And then I did actually save 1 and regen 1 or something. So only 1 knight went down to that cannon. Then the other cannon has a shot at them as well. So we'll see what happens with the other shot.
Same sort of spot.
Yep. Misfire.
What
No
happens?
rune? No rune?
No.
No rune.
So it's
You're going to roll a 1.
roll a 4. One of the crewsmen come from his fifth. A crew member
You lose 1 wound.
Yeah.
Can't shoot this turn.
Yeah.
And cannot shoot before the end of the next round. So you missed a turn.
Yeah.
Yep. One crewman died. Yep. Okay.
Let's go. Turn 1.
Vampires turn 1. Right. So I'm just going to try and bring that knight back first with the necro. No.
Oh, good.
Try again, because he can do it twice. Yes, he does. All right. Then spells. So the vampire's turn. He did fly that gyrocopter a little bit too close to the ghouls here. So the ghouls are going to get off a charge into that gyrocopter. I think we debuffed its bravery as well. So he decides to hold. I'm hoping that the poison from the ghouls will be able to take down a gyrocopter. Anyway, the ghouls are into the gyrocopter. Then the rest of the turn, I'm just moving up carefully on that flank with my Spirit Hosts and my Vargeists. And then the Vargulfs, they throw down the gauntlet to the scouts in the woods. And then my Black Knights, who also have a reserve move, so I just decide to move them straight away. And that's pretty much it, I think, this turn. Maybe I might have thrown a spell out or something, but then we've just got the combat with the ghouls into the gyrocopter. So if you're a dwarf player, the gyrocopters are very good. They're tough, toughness 5, so I usually have lots of trouble trying to bring them down, and looks like I haven't done much damage here as well. I think maybe I wounded the other gyrocopter from a spell or something. But anyway, the combat doesn't go so great for the ghouls.
Turn 2.
Yeah, so we'll move into turn 2. The ghouls failed to do any wounds to the gyrocopter. I was hoping to get some 6s. So this other gyrocopter is going to come over here and put a steam gun onto my necromancer, maybe. I don't know, he's thinking about it. The necromancer's standing out there. He doesn't have any cover, so he's open to cannon shots and everything, but he does have the cloak of mist and shadows, so he can't shoot him unless he's got a magical weapon. So he decides to fly the gyrocopter somewhere else. And then the dwarves move up in the middle. And so I've got to make a decision about whether I'm going to send the knights into the dwarves or try and be sneaky and go around the flank. Then the scouts decide to shoot my wounded Vargulf. And after all the shooting's done, the Vargulf is still alive. So I still have both Vargulfs. I just marched them up there. And so maybe they'll be getting to the scouts and maybe they can kill them. Let's hope so. Maybe. Then my ghouls are fighting bravely here against the gyrocopter. I managed to maybe get a poison through there and do something. Well, we win combat, but we still haven't taken down that gyrocopter. They are struggling to kill that gyrocopter. Alright, so I forgot to hit the record button again here, but this is the end of the vampire turn 2. I decided not to engage the dwarves head on, so the Black Knights have reserve moved and then reserve moved past that combat there beside the building. So the dwarves are on that side of the building and my Black Knights are on the other side. So maybe we can get them to turn around and face us or something. I sent both Vargulfs into the scouts in the woods there. And after all that, we managed to win the combat, but just pushed them back a little bit further into the woods. But both Vargulfs are still alive, so I'm hopeful that the Vargulfs can finish off the scouts. No spoiler yet. Let's see what they can do. Then I'm just swarming around with my other ghouls. We eventually finished off the gyrocopter by the look of it. It's gone. My necromancer's standing out there on his own. Nothing to do. And I've sent the spirit hosts and the Vargeist straight up this flank to put some pressure on his cannons on the hill. So hopefully they will get rid of the cannons, and then we can swarm on the dwarves in the middle. That's the plan. So that's pretty much the situation at the end of turn 2. Now we've still got a gyrocopter up the back there as well. So the knights are going to try and sneak around behind here somehow. As far as a big block of Black Knights can sneak.
Still turn 3, yep. Vargulfs are fighting there. We're about to pounce on your guns unless you do something.
Turn 3.
So the Vargulfs, one Vargulf has fallen, so I've only got one left. They're really suffering for not having the +1 for close order anymore, I think. Although it's the first time I've used them. But they're fighting a full unit of rangers with great weapons. Now the dwarves in the middle, they went and killed the ghouls that killed the gyrocopter. So that's an exchange. I killed the gyrocopter, he killed the ghouls, and now the hammerers have reformed in this position. And I'm just raising more zombies. So I've got a unit of zombies I raised, and I've built them up into a little unit there now. I'm just raising more zombies over here in the strategy phase. That's about it. I'm going to throw a spiritual vortex in front of those hammerers as well. So the necromancer's doing his thing. Not very decisive, but the ghouls, the zombies there are fun. They get in the way. They can block charges, but they're never going to hurt anyone. The spirit host decided to go up the hill into one of the cannons, and then I send the Vargeists into the flank of the Longbeards. I'm thinking maybe I can kill a few of the Longbeards and slow them down, maybe get them to turn that way away from the Black Knights. I just wanted to get the Black Knights into their rear or something, sweep around behind them. So, so they're throwing up the spiritual vortex. Spiritual or spectral? Spiritual vortex in front of the hammerers as well. So they've reformed. And there's my last of the Vargulfs fighting the scouts in the forest. He kills one, and then they're just hoeing into the Vargulf. So one wound there. So it's taken me 2 Vargulfs to tie up the scouts. But the scouts are so tough with those, they hit back pretty hard with their great weapons. I also have a Banshee here, and Banshees are not much use against Dwarves with their high leadership. So I've screamed into the combat here, but didn't do any damage. And the Vargeists, I sent them into the flank, and they do have fairly decent attacks, fairly decent AP, but I only there's a fair few hits there, and a fair few wounds. So we did a couple of wounds, but I think the battle standard is on that end, and then he gets stuck into the Vargeists. And there's that much static combat resolution there that the Dwarves are going to win. Yes, I did kill a few, but I think the battle standard's the little guy on the corner. And as you can see, after crumbling, etc., there's hardly any Vargeists left. So we killed about 4 or 5, but the Vargeists are going to be in trouble here.
Turn 4.
So we move into the Dwarves' turn 4. The Longbeards decline to follow up into the Vargeist into the flank. They're getting ready to receive the charge from the Black Knights, maybe. Should I send the Black Knights into the Longbeards? I don't think so. Anyway, we'll see what happens. These guys, the Hammerers, redress their ranks with Drilled and get stuck into my zombies. And yes, that's the end of the Vargulf. So 2 Vargulfs into the scouts, and we couldn't finish them off. So both Vargulfs are gone. I don't think they're any good anymore. That they don't get that +1 for close order. That's the end of my zombies. I did a couple of wounds with the Vortex, with the dangerous terrain tests as they went in. And then up on the hill here, the Spirit Hosts get stuck into the cannon. A few good rolls there, and we break the cannon because we outnumber it 2 to 1, etc. And so the cannon's gone, and the Spirit Hosts are going to pursue off there. So the Spirit Hosts have done okay, got rid of 1 cannon, but the Vargulfs, they fell to the scouts.
Vampire turn 4. Right, I will, first of all, I'll leave that Vortex going. I'll try and raise into these zombies here.
Sure.
Get some more. Yeah, I get...
So let's see what happened. The Vampire turn 4, and it's come down to this. This is the whole battle will come down to this charge from the Black Knights. So I didn't want to charge them frontally. I was planning to sneak around the back, but I just didn't have enough to tie them up from the front. Maybe I needed some blocks of skeletons to draw the Dwarves into them, and then use the Black Knights. Yeah, probably the Vargulfs. I thought that might be a good idea, but I think I needed some distraction rather than the Vargulfs. Well, you never know. I tried the Vargulfs and they failed to kill the scouts. I would have been better off spending those points elsewhere, or I should have backed the Vargulfs up with the Black Knights. That probably would have been a better thing to do. So now the game's going to... I'm doing some spells here into the Hammerers there. So we're whittling them down. I've got a huge unit of zombies and ghouls, etc. The Vargeist has gone up the hill into the cannon, and the Spirit Hosts are back. They're ready to charge next turn. But the main thing, the whole battle's going to come down to the charge of the Black Knights. So I've got the Banner of the Barrows in there, etc. So they've got reserve move, and the battle standard makes them hit on 3s. So they've charged in. So I didn't want to charge the King's unit frontally. I wanted to get into a flank, but I needed to tie them up at the front first. So yeah, I think the Black Knights and the reserve move, etc., could be a good idea. I just think vampires are so overpriced for only 3 wounds, and they don't have enough output, unless you put them on a dragon or something. But that's easy mode, playing with a dragon. So you don't see many dragons on our channel. We probably should start playing with a few more dragons, just to show you how over the top they probably are. But yeah, just the vampire on his horse. Maybe I have tried him on the Abyssal Terror thing as well. And maybe on the Coven Throne might be alright. I don't want to go down the Screaming route. But there's the Black Knights on the charge. and with their lances, etc., hitting on 3s and strength 6, I think, on the charge, killing blow, etc. But they negate most of that, and they've got a 5-up ward as well. So, how many did we kill? Probably about 4 or 5 dwarves, and then the king and the battle standard are going to swing back, and you can see there's many black knights falling. So, yeah, I think the plan's okay. I like the big unit of black knights. Probably do the same thing with Graveguard, which I've tried before. So, trying to work out a way to make these guys effective.
We go back.
So that's that combat.
You're going to follow up?
Yeah.
Yeah. You just pop up. We charged you and we still couldn't win combat.
Close though. I've got a lot of static res on those.
Yeah, I should have issued a challenge. It was the king that added the extra wounds. I should have issued a challenge.
Yeah.
But it was a bit too early. Turn 4. I didn't want my vampire to die on turn 4.
Turn 5.
Right, turn 5.
My hammers are going to charge your knights. That's it.
Yeah, so the hammerers, they do their drilled business. They're going to hit the building, so they just decide to do their drilled, contract their ranks, and they get a good charge in there to help out the king and the Longbeards versus the Black Knights. So pretty much everything else is inconsequential now. It's just this main battle between the Black Knights, and this is exactly what I didn't want to happen. I didn't want the Black Knights to be fighting both the Dwarf hammer units, but it's happened again. But this time I challenge with the Vampire, Von Keith. He takes a wound, and the King takes a wound as well. So I should have probably done that first turn. But eventually, the King's going to wear down. He's got the extra wounds with the shield bearers and so on. So the Black Knights are still alive, but they're going to lose combat and bounce back a bit. So that's mainly what the game is all about now.
Turn 5.
Right. Your turn 5.
Yep. Okay. We will...
So that's pretty much going to be the end of the game. We do play out turn 5 and 6. The Spirit Hosts do finish off the other cannon, and I send the Vargeist into the flank of the Longbeards here. He does do pretty well and kills 2 or 3 of them, but the battle standard's on the corner there. So he's probably just going to add more combat resolution for the Dwarves. At the end of this combat, pretty much all the Black Knights are going to die, and the White Lord or King, whichever one it is, the one carrying the battle standard. And we're just going to be left with Von Keith and Morgrim the Bearded in the challenge there. So, look, there's the end of the combat. Everyone's gone, except Von Keith on his horse fighting them. So we did play out the last turn, but not much happened. Just swarming ghouls and zombies around the place. And the Hammerer's going to reform to chase off my ghouls. And I'll leave you with the final combat.
Battle standard to save them.
There's no point me doing anything with them. That's it, isn't it?
Yep. Right.
All right.
See if you can kill me before I kill you.
Yeah. Who will die first? You got 3 wounds.
3 wounds. Yeah. 5's to hit him though.
2 hit.
2 hits. Oh no. Oh, he lives.
1 at neg 4.
So just his regen. He regens it. All right, here we go. 4's to hit. 2. Oh, he just couldn't hit all 4, could he? 2 at -2.
So 6 up. Save 1.
Oh no.
No, he's dead.
Hey, well, we can take some small victory.
Yeah.
Some small victory.
Okay, well, thanks for watching. If you made it this far, try to keep it as short as possible, because it was all going to boil down to that combat with the Black Knights. Had to get in somewhere. And I did plan to get them into a flank or isolate a unit, but the Dwarves stuck to their task. And eventually, I probably should not have charged the King's unit frontally, and I probably should have challenged with the Vampire, although I was pretty sure the King was going to kill the Vampire. In the end, the Vampire, Von Keith, killed Morgrim in the challenge, We worked out later that the Dwarves won that combat by about 4 still, because they only did 1 wound to finish the king off. So Von Keith would have crumbled on the last turn and turned to dust. Anyway, so yeah, we tried the big block of Black Knights. We've tried the Graveguard. Maybe we just go back to Skeletons, Graveguard, soup up some Graveguard, get more of them. Although it was fun using the Black Knights. I should have maybe used them to help the Vargulfs and then turn the Vargulfs in with them. Anyway, that's 2020 hindsight, isn't it? Alright, thanks for watching and we'll see you next time. Bye for now.
Thanks for watching another Creaker Gamers episode. I hope it wasn't too bad. Please like and subscribe. Just do it.